What's happening, gang? How's everyone doing today? We got Logan Hall is first in the chat. And we got Roth C. Antwerp. He says, have a great stream, Lucha. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate your support. Remember, we don't beg for super chats, but anything we get is going to first go into a some sort of new camera setup for the show and to make some videos. So when we get to that point, I'll let you guys know. But I do appreciate everybody who donates anything to the show. We had a decent week of cooking this week. So this morning's breakfast, I made eggs in a basket, or egg in a basket, if you will, with some spam. So, basically what I do is I start toasting the sourdough, and then I actually used an espresso shot cup and just push that down, twist it around to pull out the center where to cook the egg at in the toast, and flipped it over and threw the egg in, and boom, delicious. Made that. I had some spam, so I was like, I'll use that. Make a simple breakfast. Made a couple nicer breakfasts earlier in the week, which you guys may have seen on the Instagram, and which we will show here now. And just in case, this was really good. This was another sea log, but I did this using pork belly, which I marinated in a well, not really marinated. I spice rubbed it and let it sit for a day in the fridge with some chipotle powder. It could be a little bit of a marinade because there was a little bit of maple syrup in there, some paprika, some smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder. Just let that kind of melt away, and I air fried it, and it was delicious. I served that over the Filipino rice with BW's secret ingredient, the roasted garlic, that is so delicious. I'm gonna have to get a new jar of it because I'm almost out. I've used it so much. It's definitely become one of my favorite things in the world. Thank you again, BW. Another breakfast we had was just a little more traditional. I grilled the sourdough in this case with the sausage patties and made some not really hash brown potatoes, like breakfast potatoes, and that was delicious. And we made a couple meals this week as well. So I think we did I think we showed, did we show last week the chicken pot pie soup? Or did I make that after the show? I can't remember. It's hard to remember. I ate that almost all week for breakfast or for lunch at work. I made a huge pot of that. So plus running around, mom's home. She's got some issues, but she's home. So that's good. Well, she's not home. She's on my couch. So there you go. There you have that. She is downstairs on the couch as we speak. So if I have to run, you'll know where I went. I also made a gochujang pork chop. I had some of those sweet potatoes left from last week's steak. Those were just frozen cut beans. I had a few left over. So I spiced those up, used a little bit of BW's secret garlic, and made that a thing. Served that with some applesauce and some microgreens. That was delicious as well. I also made one of my favorite things. I make this like once a year. A lot of people may be familiar with chicken paprikash because that's traditionally the way you see it made. I make a mushroom paprikash that is to die for. And I'll eat that. I made enough of that to eat 4 days of lunch this week as well. So that is good stuff. Let's check out the chat. Mr. G says, anyone deplorable here? I think everyone is deplorable here, Mr. G. Brett D in the chat, upvoted, reminding everyone to hit that upvote. Good to see you, sir. Good morning, BW is in the chat. Let's see. George Varhees is in the chat, reminding everyone to have a good day. Logan says, Luke, I like how you start out with smooth jazz and then immediately go into music that makes me want to smash tables. So the song that's playing on the little Lucha Medic montage is a clip from Megadeth's song, maybe one of my favorite metal songs. Definitely my favorite Megadeth song. It's called "Wake Up Dead," which is just a great song, and it's a jammer. BW reminding me that I'm going to have a hard time finding that garlic. It was carried from the Philippines, and I can't find it. It's sold here. Uh, I know. It's so good, BW. It's so good. I use it on a lot of stuff, but especially the sea logs. But it's just in that rice, whatever that rice was called. I can never remember the name of that, but it's just so good. It's so good. It's just amazing. Uh, mm, George saying hello to everyone. Good morning from Mr. G. Ready to get out to Philly and see Mr. G. Billy's in the chat. Good to see you. Mr. G reminding everyone that he loves to see his friends here on Sunday morning. Sunday mornings are great. Love having these with you guys. I do enjoy the crap out of it. So, of all the meals I made, we have a vote on which one we like the best. That would be a tough call. The best tasting is the paprikash, just because it's different. I don't make it all the time. I don't have it all the time. It's just so good. It's basically just a paprika sauce. I start with some onions and garlic. Add in let the onions get a little bit translucent. Add in some mushrooms, and then I make a roux with flour. I flour it up in butter and make a roux, and then I add about a teaspoon of tomato paste, and cook all the flour flavor, the tomato, the harshness of the paste out for a minute, and then add some veggie stock and whatever else I threw in there. I'm making the farfalle pasta at the same time, the little bow ties, and then I take two ladle or spoonfuls, big spoonfuls of the starchy water just before I drain the pasta, and add that to it, and it just makes a delicious sauce. And the paprika, yeah, I used hot paprika, sweet paprika, and a touch of smoked paprika. I don't want the smoke to overtake that dish, but top it off with some microgreen. Oh, and I wilt some bag of spinach into it at the very end. I forgot that. That's kind of the green you see in the bottom there. Yeah. So you do it in stages so that the spinach wilts nice and it gets in there. But it's just delicious. It's just delicious. Top it off with a quick sprinkle of Parmesan and some microgreens, some parsley if you have it, you're good. Serve it with some broccolini, and it is a very quick, easy, delicious dish. Ralph C. Antwerp says, everyone have a nice Sunday and upvote. Yes, please hit the upvote. I read this title of the stream wrong, Mark. I was expecting this show was your garage and that we would see some lifted Jeeps. Yeah. No, the show is garbage, not garage. Morning, Orko. Good to see you, sir. Good to see everybody popping in. Reminding everybody to hit the upvote. Reminding everyone that any super chats go back directly into the show. If we do an unboxing or something, we can do some charity stuff. But for the interim, we're just trying to improve the quality of the show since you guys seem to enjoy me doing the show. We got 15 upvotes so far. Thanks, guys. Let's see, Lucha, please let me know next time you come to Philly. We can coordinate with Double D. Absolutely. Yeah. Double D and Tony. And it was everyone I've met through the watch community, I've enjoyed my time with. So it's always good to see everyone. I encourage everyone, if you get a chance, to meet some people. You don't have to meet in big groups, or maybe you like big groups, or maybe one-on-ones. And I met some one-on-ones here. Was a couple people in Pittsburgh. I met a guy who sold a Jeep to a guy the other day who has a watch company. In fact, I'm going to look it up here for you guys. He's kind of he's wearing a Daytona. My salesman came and grabbed me and said, "Hey, this guy's wearing a fancy watch. You want to talk to him?" So I normally talk to everyone, but this guy in particular, I was wearing the JLC, which he really liked. He was looking at for a long time, but he was a big time. He's like, "Oh, I have a little watch company." I'm like, "Oh, he may be opening a brick and mortar store in Sewickley. It's called Adriatic Time." This is his Instagram page. Some of the watches, I guess, that are for sale and or have sold. I know on his website he had like a $250,000 something or other on there. I was like, damn, dude, you do expensive watches. But yeah, so yeah, here, Adriatic Time. We'll click over there. Here's his actual website. Yeah, he's got a Nautilus for $292,000. Daytona for 21.5. He got some stuff. $124,500 solid gold overseas. Damn. And then a $3,200 Breitling. That's on the new in page on his thing, but yeah, in his actual StreamYard. Oop, where did I go? I hit the wrong thing. Share that tab. There we go. Yeah, it was kind of cool. Meet somebody who's into watches. He was wearing a stainless Panda that he said he's had forever. But he traded in a Grand Cherokee on a Grand Cherokee. So he spends a lot of time in Asia doing things. Yes, Tony. Yeah, Tony's a good guy. He was cracking me up. Tony cracked me up the entire time he was with us last time. So last time I went to Philly, I met with Evan G for breakfast because he was in town from Denver, from Colorado, and we had breakfast, walked around a little bit, checked out some, a couple watch stores, and we went over and met OC and Tony for lunch. And Tony was hilarious. And we went out to the 1916 company and had a tour and looked at watches, and it was a good time. But Tony was hilarious. Tony was hilarious. Enjoyed the visit immensely. What's going on out there, guys? George, are you going to hop on and do football picks again today? I am a terrible prognosticator. If you want your team to win, please tell me to pick against them today. My Penn State Nittany Lions failed to get it done again yesterday against Ohio State and dropped to 7-1, which will make it a little bit harder for them to make the 12-team college football playoff. But we'll do what we can there. Yeah, just heartbreaking luck. If you get inside the opponent's 5 twice and come away with no points, you deserve to lose. That game they could have easily won that game. Easily won that game. There was one really pathetic bad call on Ohio State on their second touchdown drive. But wow, just bad loss. I mean, Ohio State's a good team, but they had them. They should have won the game. It's you can't get stopped on the 1. You can't throw an interception from the 3. Win the game. Very hard to do. Logan Hall, because Penn State's still very much in the playoff picture. It could be. They will probably finish with the 1 loss, unless this game just devastates their heads. But yeah, they did not do Did not do a very good job. Really, really disheartening. And they started off the game with a field goal drive and a pick six. We're up 10-0. So you got to win that game. You have to win that game. If not, maybe you don't deserve to be a playoff team at that point. I don't know. Pitt got crushed by SMU, ending their undefeated season. So at least I have that. But it was a miserable experience. It was on at the dealership. We had it on in the showroom, so you got to see as you're going through doing different things. You got to watch some of the game and just didn't get it done once again against Ohio State. James Franklin, was he like 1-9 against Ohio State or something like that? Last time they beat him was 2016, and that was a whiteout game. But yeah, bah humbug. Disappointing. I guess the whiteout's coming up against Washington in the new Big Ten. With 20 teams or whatever is in it now. I think you've got Oregon and Ohio State should definitely make the playoff. Indiana still undefeated. What if they beat Ohio State? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what to make of Indiana. I don't know if they've really played much of anybody yet, but they're not. They're undefeated Big Ten team. Coming out of nowhere with their new coach. So we shall see. We shall see. We have the Yankees have the worst inning in the history of baseball. Not that I thought they were going to win the World Series anyway, but it was looking like they were going to at least make it competitive. And then, boom, nothing. Speaking of boom,
Good morning, Mark.
George, how are you, sir?
Hey, it's been a great week in the neighborhood.
Nice.
Next week, you play my alma mater, UW.
Oh, okay. That's the whiteout game.
You gotta watch it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you gotta watch.
The whiteout
game's amazing.
Yeah. Well, last night we beat USC, which is always good.
Yes. USC, Lincoln Riley.
The
experiment.
Not doing so well. Doing so well. Yeah, not doing so well. Horrible seasons. You had Caleb Williams. They paid a ton of money for the guy.
Yeah.
And I remember the funny story is I have a good friend of mine. He lives in Oklahoma. So he said USC bought out his house there. And they spent $1 billion. So
that's crazy. Basil's Bezel says Boise State is the dark horse. Boise State is always a dark horse.
Yeah, they got a hell of a running back.
Yeah, they always have a good team, and they always, they're never terrible. You know what I mean? And every once in a while they pop their head up and make some noise. I remember when they beat Oklahoma.
Oh, I remember that.
In the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
On the Statue of Liberty play.
Yep. And that was the play. I think if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the same game where the running back proposed to his girlfriend who was a cheerleader?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Got into baseball. I've been watching a lot of baseball because, I'm being from LA, even though I'm a Niner fan, I'm still a Dodger fan at heart. So it was some of the best baseball, except for Game 5, that fifth inning was
what happened there?
An epic meltdown for the ages. Epic meltdown.
Terrible.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was watching. This was like a comedy of errors,
Yeah,
I could not believe it.
The Dodgers scouting point or scouting says, make them
spot on,
make them field, make them throw.
Yep.
And boy, did they just fall apart.
Mm-hmm. It was horrible. You felt for Cole because God, he pitched his freaking heart out.
Yep. Garrett Cole was originally a number 1 pick for the Pirates.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
The Pirates are the best AAA team in all of Major League Baseball.
Well, they're the best AA team anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the Devil Rays are the AAA team. Yeah.
Where are the Devil Rays? Where are the Rays going to play?
Yeah, good question. I always thought like the Rays, because I have family in Tampa,
Yeah,
and they go to these games, and it's like half empty when they're not playing like New York or Boston or LA.
right.
So like, they're playing like Detroit, there's like nobody there. They're playing, Colorado, there's like nobody in there, and so
They're
it's like
anyway.
they were saying, I think, Logan might like this. They were thinking maybe possibly going to Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's that area. You got
Yeah.
Tennessee in general. I mean, the Titans, Predators.
Pretty good market.
Yeah,
Pretty good market.
very good market. The problem is, Logan, that now that everyone knows, they're going to come and ruin it.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Well, I mean, I think Logan should be happy because his property prices will go up on his own.
Yeah. You're going to want to move because all the douchebags come in here. Look at Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas used to be cool.
Oh, I know. My
Now
sister-in-law just moved over there. They couldn't. They moved. They bought the land years ago, and then they built their home. And all of a sudden, in between, Tesla moves there, and all this other crap, and you get all the Californians moving there, and it's kind of interesting because my sister lives in Tampa, and in their neighborhood, there's a ton of people from the Northeast over there.
Mm-hmm.
Ton of people from New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, and it's kind of funny. But anyways, the baseball's over. Good series. Ordered my Dodger merchandise.
There you go.
It's been a minute, and like in LA, it's like my father and I were talking about this, and we said, well, who do you think is more popular in LA, the Lakers or the Dodgers? And my father said, you know what? I got to believe, I think it might be the Dodgers. And I was watching the parade, and one of the announcers on one of the local channels was saying that I think like the last Lakers celebration, there was actually less people that showed up than the Dodger celebration, so who knows? But I think it's Dodgers, actually. I think it's more of a Dodger town than a Laker town.
It's not the Kings?
Well, it's definitely not the Sparks. You got to love it.
Sidney Crosby back 2 goal games trying to single-handedly pull the Penguins out of their funk. So that's always good to see. And then Logan Hall says, my Vols came out on top against Kentucky. Not very convincing win, especially in the first half, but a win is a win.
Exactly. It's like the NFL. Anytime you get a win, be happy.
It's Mike Tomlin says, I'm not going to apologize for winning. We're not here for style points.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at here?
So this is a guy who bought a Jeep off me. This is his Instagram. He has a watch store. He says he does
a watch store.
Well, it's an online watch store. He's going to open a brick and mortar store. Watches, and these are some of his watches for sale, I guess.
I've always wondered about this because it's like all these guys want a brick and mortar store. Yeah. And if you have a really good online presence, I really don't know why you want to take on that additional cost of money and expenses, right?
You have the property itself.
Yeah.
The insurance that goes
right.
The
labor.
You need employees.
Yep.
Security. You need on-hand inventory. In a centralized location so people can see it. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, I always look at this and I think of Chase over at Nashville, right?
Yeah,
just uses Instagram and really word of mouth and just a website and pretty much about it.
Yeah. No, that's but he's also got the best prices.
Yeah.
Most of
That's
his
the reason, because there's no
right. When you
large
see
overhead, right?
stuff, let's take a look. Let's go over and look at Chase. I haven't looked at Chase's website in a while. So we got a Meteorite Pepsi for 51.5. A Pepsi on Jubilee,
What's the year on that meteorite?
2023.
Oh my God, man, that price has come down.
Yeah,
Ooh, that means he probably paid about like 48.
yeah,
And what's the MSRP on this, Mark? Do you recall? I think it's probably about 42, 43, right? Wouldn't you think?
yeah. We can look it up. I'm not even. I don't know that it's out of my stratosphere. Some of those watches that are not in my wheelhouse, I don't even look. I don't even,
Oh,
I don't even
Buckley
entertain.
says it's 43.
43. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. But yeah, he's always got good prices. He finally sold the cursed Buckley watch, so that's good.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, the day date.
yeah, the chocolate day.
Yeah.
He's always got a good selection of watches. He's always got good prices on them. When I see
What's that rose gold? Is that the Vacheron there?
the
I haven't
Vacheron,
looked on. I've been busy with a lot of stuff, so I haven't had a chance to peruse a little bit. Oh, nice. I've always liked this watch.
yeah, that's a beautiful watch. I like it in steel too. Their blue dial is amazing.
It is nice.
I like the hands. I like everything about this watch. As
Hmm.
far as your integrated sports,
What was he asking for that?
52,950.
For what year? 2021?
21. Yeah.
Not too bad, actually. I
No,
think the MSRP on this, the new, is about 62, 63.
he's got a 2020 stainless blue for 24,950. It's got with a bracelet and 2 straps.
Well, it comes with the straps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Yeah, pretty nice. Actually, pretty fair pricing.
Yeah. His pricing is always good.
Yeah.
I don't know that they do a lot as far as service or anything like that.
I don't think so. He doesn't do any service or
Yeah.
anything.
So you kind of, you got to be careful a little bit because you kind of get what you get. But
Oh, did he have the Vacheron that was sold? No, the sold. Go down to the sold section. There's a Vacheron. Is that the Historiques? Yeah, 1921 Historiques.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
It is. Is that the gold version, or is that the? It's obviously
white gold. Yeah, white gold.
Okay, yeah.
2022. 22,950. That doesn't seem bad either.
Well, I got a call from my paddock AD about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And she asked me if I would be interested in the Cubitus.
Oh.
And I definitely said yes, I would be. So there you go. So I put my name on the list, and she said I'm her quote unquote number 3 person on the list. So they should be getting their allotment in about December-ish. So she asked me what I wanted, and I told her I'd like the green dial first, and then the two-tone, and then the one on the strap. So she said it shouldn't be an issue.
Oh wow, very cool. Very cool. So with tax, if you wear it, you lose money. Which one, Buckley?
We're talking about the GMT Meteorite.
The Meteorite? Okay. Yeah.
Some good pricings actually. Might have to go and look at it again.
He's always fair. Like I said, I don't think you're getting much as far as I don't think there's any servicing going on. So
no.
You have to be careful that way. But he's got an IWC, George. Got a couple IWC. Well, there you go.
That must have been a mercy buy.
Mercy buy. He's got 2 of the white dial Beaties. One for 83.50, one for 77.50. Couple of the Tudors. There you go. That's the other thing I like is he carries a pretty good range.
Well, I think exactly. And I think the pricing on those Tudors are actually pretty nice.
Pretty good, yeah. Because those are still kind of like this watch here is still relatively new. It just came out of
Yeah,
Watch Wonders.
and that's
There's,
a nice looking watch too.
yeah,
For $3,800, how do you go wrong, right?
it's hard to beat, and you're saving 500-600 bucks on it, which
Right.
I know doesn't seem like a ton, but on a watch that's not always easy to get. You can get it easier on the rubber strap or on the
Mm.
the 3-link bracelet, but this 5-link Jubilee style is a little bit harder to wrangle away. But it's a nice watch,
That's a
and
good looking watch.
yeah, and that's one of the watches when they redid the case on this one and the red bezel one. They put the Meta certified master chronometer movement in it,
Mm-hmm.
and they slimmed down the case. It's not quite as slabby on the sides as it was.
You know, the other day I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he's kind of getting into the watch game. And he asked me, he said, like, if you give me some advice, what would you give him? And I said, well, I said, if I had to do this over again, I think I would probably just confine myself to three pieces. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I told him, if I told my, self 20 years ago, I'd probably just try to get like a rose gold Daytona, the 16528, the Zenith, which is what I have and I like. And then I'd get the stainless steel version of the same thing, and then maybe either a sub or uh, or a GMT, and be done with it. You know, so basically a sub, a GMT, and a Daytona of some kind, and you call it a nice collection.
There it is.
Yeah. What about you?
So I've been having these thoughts about a two watch collection.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's like, do I want a Rolex and an Omega? I'm a Rolex, or I'm an Omega fanboy, obviously. So one of them will be an Omega, and the other one will probably be a Rolex. Just haven't narrowed it down to which two, but there's some stuff I like. Um, I'm not sure if I want to go for the big, super chunky monkey sea dweller thing or deep sea. Although I like the deep sea when I see it and when I wear it, I just don't know if I'm going to be a two watch guy. If
Mm.
that would be, like this James Cameron I always liked.
How much is it now?
He's
How much
asking
is that?
15,750,
Oh.
which is basically retail plus tax.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not crazy, but yeah, I could if I could do something. It's such a big watch, so I'm just like I'm worried that after a while it'll get a little cumbersome to wear. And then I
Mhm.
look at the Rolex or the Omega, the Ultra Deep, and I like it as well. The thing I don't like this wording on the inside where it says original gas escapement and ring lock system. I think
Mhm.
that looks a little bit tacky on it, but I love the dial.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's heavy though.
yeah, it's a big, big, heavy watch. Um, but I like the. Let me see if I can find one here with some good pictures, maybe. We'll just go to the website and look at it. Maybe if my computer wants to share the screen. Then I look at the Ultra Deep, and I really like the Ultra Deep. I love this one. It was a
Mhm.
similar dial. Um, Very cool watch. But again, these are both big, huge, monstrous watches, which I can
Yeah.
wear on my wrist. It's just do I want to, will that be good? So, or do I do a Rolex and something keep coming back. I'm waiting to see if they do this watch in other colors. This 41 millimeter Aquaterra with the
Mm.
lacquer dial and the new bracelet, the more presidential style bracelet. It's got a little bit of a extension on it so that you can breathe a little bit in the summer, but Aquaterra is always one of my favorite watches. I'm like, if they did if they open up this line a little bit with that bracelet, maybe I would do something like that in a Rolex. Buckley says, Mark, please don't go bigger than an SD43. Yeah. The SD43 I like, but I don't love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm not a fan of, and this is an issue with Rolex. I'm not a fan of the Cyclops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And because?
I just don't. I think it messes up the look of the watch.
Yeah, I don't know the reason why they decided to ever have that on those watches, but I would assume, like on some of those that are divers and people who are diving and using it, it
Yeah.
sticks. It's more visible, like I suppose, and
I don't. I
whatever, right?
can't remember the last time I was even in a pool and I said, "What's
Right.
the date today?" Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, true, all true.
Yeah.
But,
I just, I just don't. I don't like it. I never liked it, and it just always looked weird to me. I don't know. Let's see. Basil's Bezel says he would need a 3-watch collection: a diver,
mhm.
GMT, a chronograph, and a dressy piece.
Yeah, that's fine.
Plus, I can always keep this. I don't need the. If I did 2, I could do 2 plus this is my dress watch. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So many people say this is my best watch. I don't know, but Frank Cannon says he likes the magnified date window. His eyes aren't that great anymore.
Yeah.
Basil says, I thought they were going to do more with the Aquaterra. Yeah, me too. I love that bracelet. And I just want, what's up, Nathan? He says, guess what?
Hmm.
Chicken butt? I don't know.
Well,
Wait,
how's everything at the dealership these days?
it wasn't a terrible week. The last day of the month
Mhm.
was Halloween, so it's not like being traditional last day of the month where you're
Right.
running all crazy because everyone's got their kids and their costumes and their trick or treating and that kind of stuff. But it wasn't a bad week. And then
How was October in general? Pretty good or fair?
yeah, but we had that huge sale, and we did that one week where we basically did a month's worth of cars.
Oh wow.
Second week of the month. So that really helped.
Hmm.
Um, so now we need to figure out how to capture that momentum again this month.
I'm sure there's always like Thanksgiving sales, right? I'm sure you guys have car
Yeah,
dealers have theirs too, right? Don't they?
yeah, they're doing it. Well, not really.
No.
Yeah, the programs for the month generally are the programs for the month.
Hmm.
Yeah, the rest of it's just convincing people that it's a special, if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's what's selling and what's not selling?
Grand Cherokees, Compasses.
Oh yeah. God, I miss my Grand Cherokee so much.
Grand
Damn.
Cherokee is always our most popular car. The Compass
Yeah.
is our best payment car.
Yeah.
The uh, used
I
car
like
company.
the new. I got to admit, I do like the new style of the Grand Cherokee. It looks good.
Yeah, it's a good looking piece.
Good looking ride.
I wasn't crazy about it when it first came out. I like the prior version, but it's grown on me a lot.
Yeah. I never had any luck with American made cars, but my Grand Cherokee I had
Yeah.
like about 130,000 miles, and I would have kept it even longer if the damn
Here?
AC didn't break in the summer of all time. If it broke in the winter, I would have kept it another 6 months.
Yeah. I remember. I
Yeah.
remember you're going through that.
Yeah.
Basil says end of month deals. You can
Mm.
make an end of month deal anytime. So there were people in yesterday, and the woman's like, "I'm going here, there, everywhere around the square. I'm not making a decision today." Blah 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 blah. So I went out, because my salesman was getting nowhere with them. So I went out and I said, I was chatting with him. I'm like, let me look at your car. I said, I'm looking for cars like this, and I'm looking to put one more deal together today. The general manager's out of the dealership, and I need one more deal to keep my job. She's like, what? I said, I'm just kidding. I said, but I told him I'd get him 4 deals today, and I've got 3. And so I went out and I said, what are you looking for your car? It was a 17 Escape, Ford Escape that she was trading. It was actually in really nice shape. Didn't have very many. I had like 70,000 miles on it.
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. So she was looking to get 85 to 9 for it. So I said that doesn't seem outlandish what you're looking for. I said, what would it take to put a deal together today? She says, there's no way I'm buying a car today. Blah 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 blah. All right, let me go appraise your car. Let me go see what I think of it. See what I can't work up for you. And I came back out and I talked to her a little bit. And I said, here's what I'm going to do. I said, I need one more deal today. And sometimes you just find yourself in a situation where you're getting a deal, because I can guarantee you on Monday, my boss is not going to let me make this deal. But if you trade it in today, I'll give you 11 grand for it.
Damn, that's good.
I know.
Did she take it? What's
She
the?
took it. Of course she
Of
did.
course she would. Yeah.
How could you not?
Right.
But yeah, so the
So basically, you just came down $2,000 on the price of her car.
yeah, I overappraised her car a little bit. I overappraised her car a little bit, and then
Now, let me ask you something. Do you negotiate like that when you buy your IWCs, Lucha?
Oh, with my IWC,
or do they do that negotiation on you?
They do that. They do that negotiation on me. So the thing is, and George, that I love to find something that is like 4 to 12 months old to buy. Let somebody else take that initial hit of depreciation. That's my first. That's my first and my first foremost favorite thing. Fine. I found one of these Aquaterras. There's a local, not super local, but an hour away, hour and a half away, that has a brand. They're an authorized Omega dealer, but they have one. And this watch just came out, so it can't be that old. I think they said it was September. Was on the date card. For they're asking 5,600 for it.
Oh.
I know. And I'm like, that's my favorite way to buy a watch. Yes, Logan, we're making deals. You're always making deals. You're always talking. You're always having a good time. That's all there is to it. It ain't rocket science. It's not the end of the world. I had a neighbor. He's a Chevy truck guy, and the truck got totaled, and I did everything I could, and he's so apologetic. Dude, it's your truck. If you want a Chevy, I'm not not moving. I'm not gonna light dog poop in a bag on your Porsche and knock and run or anything. I mean,
right.
It's just it is what it is. But you gave me a shot. I gave you my pitch, but you're a Chevy guy. All right. Dirk Diggler's in the house. Dirk in the seats. Hey, you already sold me. You're smooth, my friend. You're smooth. Well, part of it is just you have to get into a conversation with people. So, like, my job is a little bit harder because, like, a salesman has like an hour with a person before they get into really negotiations. Usually, they're showing them the car and the dealership and looking at different stuff, whatever. I have like a couple minutes to establish some sort of rapport on them. And a lot of it is based on what the salesman tells me they're saying. And sometimes that's not true. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like sometimes that's their perception. And I may go out with the wrong impression of what I'm walking into. So I have to like quickly assess the situation, because that's called a turnover. It's a TO. The salesman is turning it over to the manager to come in. So I have to go in, start talking, see where.
And you have to seal the deal, right?
Right. And well, a lot of what I'm doing is watching their reaction to what I'm saying.
Mm.
All right. So as I'm talking, I'm less, whereas I preach to my salespeople to always be listening to the customer, I'm always watching because the things that I'm saying have a little bit more gravitas because I'm coming out as the manager and I want to see what I can do to get a positive body language response from them because they won't say it. They'll say no, but their body, their face, it will tell you if you're on the right track.
Mm.
And what's important to them. So some people it's payment, some people it's their trade in, some people don't want to put them on money down. Some people, whatever it is, you have to. But I have to quickly figure it out because I can't. My salesman didn't get anywhere. So even the information that he's giving me is at very least partially wrong, or else he would have been able to expose what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like find some way to get them to make an offer. So that's all it really is. But there's a lot of people don't like, a lot of managers don't like to do TOs, whereas I love them. It's just my favorite thing in the world who's to go out and, you know what I mean? That's like the ultimate chess match for me.
Mark, with all due respect, and I
Yes.
do mean this, with all due respect, the only, going to a dentist ranks right up there with going to go buy a
Oh
new
God,
car.
yeah. You have to overcome the fact that they hate you.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're conditioned not to like you. Lawyers,
Eh,
dentists, and car salesmen.
yes, exactly.
They're just bad.
Hey, you heard the joke about the dentist, the lawyer, and the car salesman that go to a bar, right? Only one comes out alive, and that's the car salesman.
Oh,
Oh
hey, that's
God.
a great sales story. Congrats. Good. Thanks. Yeah, Logan, lots of psychology involved. Uh,
Psychology or BS?
yeah, Dirk says, when I go car shopping, I want the youngest, hungriest person working on the dealership. I stay away from the old time salesman wearing the Rolex or Omega. I want the hungry kid wearing a Casio. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that too.
Yeah.
Letting customers what you can do in a relaxed format. Customers, yeah. Well, you have to be relaxed. Yeah, you can't be all 80s hype man either anymore. You have to be careful.
All right, Mark. Time for the main part of the show.
The picks.
Yes.
You want to do the picks now? All right.
Let's get the picks.
All right. So, bum. George Varhees, our first 1 o'clock game is the Cowboys at Atlanta. Atlanta
And
get 3.5.
I hate to say this. I hate the Cowboys with a passion, but I'm going to go Cowboys.
I'm going Falcons because if you remember the first week when we did the picks, I said the Falcons are kind of my sleeper team this year.
Yeah, but they've been horrible.
Yeah, so is Dallas.
Yeah, but
The tale of two terribles, but one horrible and 3, the other horrible is 3 and 4.
Last week I was doing really well until the Browns Ravens game.
Yeah, Browns.
Oh my God. I did not see that happening. And I totally forgot that Deshaun Watson wasn't playing.
Yeah. Jameis Winston. Yeah, but they're better. If you remember last year when they got finally settled on Flacco, and that's how they made the playoffs, was not having Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Next 1 o'clock game, we've got the Dolphins at the Bills. The Bills are 6-point favorites.
I'll take the Bills and the points.
Yeah, I'm actually. I don't think the Dolphins win the game, but I think it's closer. I think Tua with another week, and the fact that they're not playing Buffalo in the cold, it's going to be like 58 degrees. I think they said 54 right now. I guess.
I don't think the Dolphins can play in sub 70-degree weather. So, so there you go.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Then we have the Raiders at the Bengals. The Bengals are 7.5-point favorites.
Jeez. I'm taking the Raiders on this one.
I'm taking the Raiders in the points.
Yeah, the Bengals look awful.
Yeah, the Bengals they look disjointed at best. Burrow's not playing terrible, but the rest of the team,
Right.
no defense. There's not much anything else. A lot of contract controversy because everyone's upset with what they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to take the Raiders and the points. But then we have the Chargers at said Browns. The Chargers are getting 1 point on the road.
I'll take the Chargers and the points.
You're going to take the Chargers and the points.
Let me tell you something. I've been watching a lot of the Chargers games,
Not
and
bad.
they are so buttoned up.
Yeah, Harbaugh's a good
So
coach.
buttoned
Yeah,
up.
1
Yeah.
point. 1 point's not a lot. I'm going to take the Chargers as well.
And you got to think they're winning, rushing the ball like 30 times a game, 33 times a game, and what's it? I almost said Rivers, but what's his name? Who's the quarterback? I'm drawing a blank. Jesus.
Herbert.
Herbert doesn't have any wide receivers.
Yeah, they trade them all away.
Yep.
Time of the Human Contract is in the chat. Good to see you. Yeah, it was tough game for the old Nittany Lions yesterday.
That was horrible.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, you're inside the 5-yard line twice, and you come away with no points. You deserve to lose the game. All right, George. How about the Patriots at the Titans? The 2-6 Patriots at the 1-6 Tennessee.
Tennessee. Do we need to pick? Do we need to pick this one?
I pick Logan's steak cooking.
Yeah, me too. I'll take the Fighting Logan Hall Girls Streamers.
I'll take the Fighting Logan Halls.
Yeah.
3. I don't think either of those teams evidently is very good. I don't even know who's playing quarterback now for the Titans. I don't even know.
Who knows? Who cares?
And you've got the Commanders at the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And the Commanders are getting 4.
I'll take the Commanders all day.
Giants are getting 4. I'm sorry.
No. The Commanders are getting 4, aren't they?
No, they're -4.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go Commanders easy.
Commanders, yeah, they're pretty much better than the Giants. Another game of two terribles.
Yeah.
Saints at the Panthers. New Orleans is getting 7.5. I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Panthers. I don't know. I mean, what a dumpster fire that place is. I'm taking the Saints.
Oh,
quarterback for
you
either.
You know what? I'm going to take Carolina and the points. I just can't pass up on 7.5.
Yeah.
There's another one that I can't pass
up.
up.
This one, you're not going to pass this.
Yeah.
No. Ravens. The Broncos are getting 8.5 points at Baltimore.
Yeah, I think Denver's D is pretty good. I'll take the Broncos and the points.
Yeah, I like the points there too. The Ravens, much like Cincinnati, have been a little Jekyll Hyde.
All right.
The Jaguars at the Eagles. The Eagles getting 7, or the Jaguars getting 7.5.
I'll take the Jaguars and the points on this one.
I'm going to take
the head coach is going back to Philly, right?
Yeah, but they're terrible.
I know. But 7.5, it's hard to pass.
Yeah. This could be a pretty good game coming up here. This is the Bears at the Cardinals. The Bears are getting 1.5 on the road.
As a Niners fan, I'm going to take Chicago in the points.
Okay, I'm actually going to take the Cardinals. I kind of like watching them this year. They're kind of fun to watch on offense. Not so much defense, but I think Caleb, again, talking about Jekyll Hyde, you just don't know what Caleb you're getting.
Their offense, I mean, they lost on that Hail Mary to the well, it's amazing because I watched that game live and you could see the cornerback talking to the fans. Did you see that? Oh my God.
I think worse than that, I think what really lost them the game was trying to get cute and give that offensive lineman the ball at the 1.
Yes, that was another. But I don't know how these coaches keep their jobs after these bonehead. Let's just say something that's like, coaching is always your team is a reflection of the coach, and it just says it's just such a boneheaded team.
Yeah, it's just not good.
I've never seen
Oh, go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
just never have seen a Bill Belichick coach team beat themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a George Seifert team or a Bill Walsh team or all these great
So
coaches.
when they go out of
Fundamental.
character, when they
Yeah, when they
so
start doing
like
stupid things.
Belichick in the one championship game against the Colts or playoff game against the Colts went for it on a fourth down deep in his own territory and missed. That was
Right.
a very un-Belichick thing to do.
And you
And
never see,
they lost the game.
as a
Yeah,
genius that Andy Reid is, he still doesn't do stupid
yeah.
plays.
That's one of the reasons I like Tomlin so much. Is people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he doesn't take risks." I'm like, "Yep, he doesn't take risks."
Yeah.
you know, uh,
And these coaches these days, they overthink things and they never take the points in the first half. On 4th and 1 instead of getting to 3, they go for it, and it's like kick
yep,
the damn 3 points, put it on the board, and move on. Fight
yep.
another battle. Fourth quarter, revisit it. But first quarter, second quarter, get the points.
Take the points, baby. Take the points. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Dirk says the Chargers win 1 week, lose 1 week. Their win week.
They won last. The Chargers won last week.
Yeah.
So this is. So are you
Logan
saying
says
they're going to lose
Mason,
this week?
former Pittsburgh Steeler
Mm.
backup Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph's the guy who what's his name for Cleveland hit in the head with his own helmet.
Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett went all Aaron Judge on
Yes.
Mason Rudolph's face.
So Logan Lay says Levis is a bust. So I will tell you, Levis is a bust because Levis was he was on the Penn State roster and Portal out of there because he couldn't beat Clifford to be the quarterback. So he is what he is.
So we got Detroit and Green Bay.
This might be the game of the week.
Yep.
This could.
I'll take the Lions and the points. It's 2.5. Green Bay +2.
Yeah. Hold on, my computer's freezing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. My screens are frozen. Why is that not working? Huh. Weird, wild stuff. All right. Well,
let's just get this.
let's keep going here.
Yeah. So Detroit at Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the line. I can't get the
2.5. Detroit.
2.5 for Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Detroit. Oh, Detroit -2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take Detroit. I think Detroit might be the real deal this year.
They look good, but
They look good.
Mark this post. Never trust Goofy Goff. You never know.
It's true.
I just don't trust Jared Goff. He looks great in the regular season, and then when you need him to do something, he'll find a way to muck it up. It's not over yet.
Nope. And then we got go ahead.
If he was that good, I'm pretty sure Sean McVay would have kept him.
Yeah. All right, George. I may cut out for a second. Stay on the line because I may have to come back in because this thing is not letting me. It's freezing me up all over the place right now. Hold on.
Sounds good, Lucci. I'm going to go on my political stream while I ruin the rest of your viewership. So go ahead.
Go for it. Huh. This is not.
Can you open up another tab?
That's what I'm trying to do. It's not letting me do anything. It's weird.
But StreamYard is running, right?
You may have to entertain the troops for a second because I may have to get all the way out. Let's see if this is working again. No. This thing is just frozen on every screen. Maybe I have too many tabs. No, it won't even let me close these tabs. All right. Chat with the guys for a second, George. I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good. Let's see. What else we got left on this on the docket today. We got the Rams and the Seahawks, and it's the Rams favored by 2, so I'm going to go with the Rams on that one. And then we get the Colts and the Vikings, and it's Minnesota by 5.5, so that's a pretty easy call. Take the Vikings and the points. And then the Monday night matchup is Tampa Bay at Kansas City, and Kansas City's favored by 9. I'm going to go with the Fighting Buccaneers. So so basically taking the Bucks and the 9, the Vikings and the 5.5, and the Rams and the 2. So that's the pick for the week. And then the over/under on Trump winning is 312 electoral college votes. So there you go. Yep, Basil's, you're right. The wide receivers are getting healthy, even though I just read the injury report. I guess Nakua was injured the week, but he's going to be playing. So, and I think DK Metcalf is out. So that should be interesting. And what's the other major injury news? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mike Evans, I think, is out for Tampa Bay when they're playing Kansas City. So that's a major loss for the Bucks. And let me see what else. There was another injury report that was pretty serious. Oh, I think Jordan Love is going to play, I believe, as well. So it should be pretty good. Let's see. What else do we have? Who do we have in the chat? Dirk, Basil. Who else is out there?
Hey, George.
Oh, there we go.
Hopefully I'm back good now.
My
apologies, everyone. Looks like we've had some sort of computer mess up, but hey, what do you do? There we go. Look at that. Back in business.
I think we were talking about Detroit and Green Bay, and it's
Right.
the Lions.
We're on Detroit and Green
Lions
Bay.
by 2.5.
Yeah, I was taking the Lions.
Me too.
I just think they're the real deal. Then you got the Rams at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 2-point favorites.
No, the Rams are.
No, the Rams are minus 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these spreads are all minus. Yeah, they're all minus. Yeah, these are all minus. Yeah. I every once in a while look at it the wrong way too.
Yeah. I'll take the Rams in the points because I don't think DK Metcalf is playing, and I think Nakua will be playing. So
okay.
So, and this is going to be another really important game because if the Rams win and the Bears beat the Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken, the Rams will be in first place.
There you go.
Yeah, so pretty important game of the year. I can actually see the Rams going 11-6 because they're starting to get healthy and their offensive linemen are starting to come back. I think they're still missing Avila and what's the name? Jonah Jackson. So I think once they get those two back, I think they're ready to go. And their defense for a young D looks actually pretty good.
Well, sometimes, you say you lose a superstar like Aaron Donald. Sometimes that superstar, you play to his strengths and you find out things about your other guys. Some of their, and you coach a little bit differently. So, I like the Rams in that game too. Seattle has not impressed me this year. I know Geno Smith is having a decent year. He's kind of come down to earth a little bit. I like the Rams. And you got the Colts going to the Vikings. The Colts are 5.5-point favorites.
I'll take the Vikings in the points.
I think Flacco's playing because they benched Anthony Richardson.
Did you hear about what happened?
Yeah, he tapped out.
Yeah, what? Oh my God.
Crazy.
I've never seen that in the
I've never
NFL.
seen that. I've never seen that in the NFL from a quarterback before.
Oh my God!
Normally, the quarterback, they're all in, they're in pain and writhing around on the
Yeah,
ground trying to stay in the game.
that's right.
And this guy he was tired.
You got to think like if you're one of his teammates, you got
Oh,
to be like, get this guy off this team. You
yeah,
know what a loser.
absolutely. You're not
Y-
happy about that.
No.
That being said, I think the Vikings have shown some holes.
Oh,
And
the Rams exposed him good.
yeah, and the 5.5 points with Flacco playing for the Colts. The Colts aren't a terrible team. They're not a great team, but they're not a terrible team. I think 5.5 is too many. That's
I'll take the Vikings though.
yeah.
So you're taking the Colts?
I'm taking the Colts with the 5.5.
Okay. All right.
And then Monday night. Oh, first off, can you believe that the Jets beat the Texans?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just thinking to myself, it must suck to be a New York sports fan.
Oh my God, yeah.
It must be like the most painful hemorrhoid you might ever have in your life. You know,
Your football
I mean,
teams stink.
football teams suck. Your baseball teams kicked.
Both got beat by the Dodgers.
Both got beat by the Dodgers, and one of them kicked away. An entire game, two
Yeah.
games. Home run in the 9th or 10th, and then gave the game away.
In the game one, and then
Then you've got the Jets and the Giants, two inept quarterbacks going after, playing, and inept coaching. What else is left?
there's not much. There's
Yeah.
not much.
The Islanders and the Rangers haven't been relevant since like when? 1980?
The Rangers haven't done anything in the postseason. They've had some good regular seasons.
And the Knicks haven't been relevant since Willis Reed, right? So let's be honest.
Tough times.
It
the Big
sucks
Apple.
to be a New York sports fan.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yes, that's what are you gonna do?
And then there's always the Buffalo Bills fans who always seem to think this is their year.
Yeah.
Another bunch of class.
They play in the state of New York. The other
well, they're the. Let me tell you something. You talk about cursed franchises. The Buffalo Bills rank right up there with one of the most cursed franchises, right? Wide right, wide left, right?
Yeah.
And then, think about it this way. The Buffalo Bills had to deal with Tom Brady for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now they have to deal with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
You can't make up this stuff.
It's true.
Oh, God.
It's a great but tortured fan base.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but it sucks to live in the armpit of the United States. That is New York.
That is New York. Buccaneers at the Chiefs on Monday night. Kansas City is giving away 9 points to the Buccaneers.
Now, is Mike Evans going to play? If Mike Evans plays, and you know what, even if he doesn't play, I like the Tampa's D, and I think I'm going to have to. I'll take the Bucks and the points.
I think you have two good defenses. I think Kansas City wins the game by like 5 or 6. I don't. 9's a lot.
It is a lot in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then your Steelers and my Niners have a bye this week.
We're on the bye this week.
Yep. So it should be good slate of games. I think the really ones I want to watch are the Detroit, Green Bay, the Chicago, Arizona, and I would love to. I kind of want to see the Chargers Browns.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Chargers Browns game intrigues me. To see how that game plays out, and I think that'll be the local game here because we always get the AFC North game, so that could very well be our game.
Yeah,
but those
I'll
are
be
good.
Watching that.
And the
I'm just impressed with Jim Harbaugh's coaching. It just like when I watch a Chargers game now, it's like they're always so like buttoned up. You know what I'm saying? They just seem so much different than the.
Staley was their head coach.
Oh yeah, they had Staley. They had.
He was horrible.
Then they had a couple of other coaches that were just awful.
That's what I don't understand about Chicago. because you get these quarterbacks on the rookie deal. That's when you need to make hay.
Well, I hate to say this, Mark, but look at the damn Niners.
Yeah,
Come
time.
on, And Purdy, I can tell you right now, if stupid, crap, Dak Prescott's getting $60 million, what do you think Purdy's going to ask for?
Yeah.
And he's taken them to how many division titles and at least a Super Bowl?
Money.
And if I was Purdy's agent, the number starts with the 7 and there's a 0 next to it, minimum, with million next to it per year. I don't care. You're paying him $900,000 for how many years now? And how many? Yeah, come on. Yeah, it starts with 70 million.
That man is about to get paid.
Yep. And you paid, Trent Williams, you paid Ayuk, right? You paid Samuel, you paid Kittle, you paid Bosa, you paid Warner, you paid all these people. Well, shut up, put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's check out the headlines here. Steelers eye wide receiver as deadline nears. They do need a number 2.
Let me tell you something. I said this before, I think on your stream, but I think if the Rams lose today, I think they may have conversation with the Steelers for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think him and Wilson, 2 veterans, I think might really help I think he'll definitely help stabilize the offense for sure.
I don't think everybody was making a big deal about Baltimore picking up Deontay Johnson.
I don't think that's a big
Deontay
deal.
Johnson's the head case.
Yeah.
He played here for years. He played here for years. He drops balls. He doesn't block.
Yeah.
He's a diva without the stats.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing worse. You can be a diva if you put up.
Yeah. And I always worry about like the Ravens running back. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Derrick
Henry, yeah, because he's almost at 1,000 yards, but you still have 11 games to go. 11 games, right?
They start off the year saying, "Oh, we're not gonna do that to him," and that's exactly
that's what they're doing. It's not good. And you know how it is in the NFL. By the time you get to week 17, everybody's banged up for sure.
Everybody's banged up. Yep.
It's like it's a attrition. You know what I'm saying? Whichever team has the least injuries.
Let's see. We were talking about this earlier. Let's see where they have everybody projected for the college football playoff.
I think Penn State will make the playoffs.
Well, come on, I have ESPN Plus. Why is that not coming up?
Definitely, Penn State will make the playoffs. Yeah. It's just kind of shocking to see what's happened to Alabama.
Yeah.
Talk about falling off a cliff.
There we go. All right. So they got Oregon number 1, which makes sense.
Agreed.
Yeah. Ohio State moves up to number 2, which also
didn't Oregon, if I'm not mistaken, Oregon beat Ohio State.
Yeah, Oregon beat Ohio State, and then Ohio State beat Penn State, so that's why they're there. They got Georgia number 3.
Yeah. Miami looked good.
Yeah, Miami looks good. They're 9-0. They're up to number 4. Texas 7-1. They start off like gangbusters, but they haven't looked like much lately.
No,
that's great. They're still winning, but no, not great. BYU at 8-0.
Who knew?
Number 6 projection. They move Penn State down to number 7, although James Franklin can't win a big game. Tennessee Volunteers, the Fighting Logan Halls.
Yep.
Number 8, Boise State. I think Basil.
Oh, wow.
They're up to 9 projection.
Yeah.
The Fighting Irish. Have they played anybody?
You know who hasn't really played anyone that's really good is that's up there is can you go back up there? Who was it that I thought that hasn't played anyone super difficult?
BYU.
BYU hasn't played anyone, but there was some
BYU,
Miami.
Miami really hasn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Miami hasn't played. Who have they played? That's good.
Yeah, let's see. Miami entered. So BYU beat SMU and K State. Yeah.
That's not really good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them really played much of a schedule. Indiana is quietly putting together a good year.
Yeah, they're putting in a good
Ohio
team.
State, so we'll see
And
what
then
happens.
there's Alabama at 12, right?
Alabama with 2 losses at number 12. The Tide is clinging on for dear life and a huge beneficiary of teams above them losing on Saturday night during their bye week. But they did beat Georgia.
Yep.
So the bracket, they would give Oregon, Georgia, Miami, and BYU first round byes. Then they would have Alabama and Ohio State, Indiana at Texas, Notre Dame at Penn State, Boise State at Tennessee.
Mm. Interesting. Now, are they being played at neutral sites or at the other teams?
I believe the first round games are going to be played like someone's going to have a home game.
Okay.
And the quarterfinals, see, you got the Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl.
Okay. I gotcha.
So yeah, I believe it's going to go that way. I mean, it's going to be interesting this year with 12 teams.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you got. Let's see. We've got Dear Artifact in the house. Hey, Dear Artifact, how are you, sir?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Basil says Boise State hasn't had too much of a tough schedule, but their only loss was to Oregon. Quality loss for Indiana finally had a contender. We'll find out what they Signetti, is that his name, the coach, Basil's? Coach Sig did a great job at JMU before heading up to IU. Yeah, that was the guy who said when they asked him, what do you say to kids at, when you're doing a visit because they don't really know who you are, he's like, Google me, I win.
Nice. That's a good one, actually.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good mic drop, actually.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's good. Signetti.
Boy, this daylight savings time. This daylight savings time crap is just awful. You know?
It's terrible.
Oh my God, I hate this thing.
And as watch guys, you got to go reset all your watches. You know?
Exactly.
That's why the G-Shocks are handy. They just reset themselves. But yeah, this morning, get up, changed all the clocks, changing the.
I got to do it on my car. Actually, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I remember times were so much simpler back in the days where you just pushed the little knob and you moved it. And that was good enough. Now it's all complicated. You have to get into this program and then delete that and remove it from the app or something and change it on the app or whatever.
Yeah, they make it much harder than it needs to be.
Right.
We got 21 upvotes. Appreciate that, guys.
So we got the NFL season covered. We got picks and pens and everything else. So yeah, it should be interesting games today. I think I'm going to be.
It should be some good games.
Yeah, nothing. My parents are in town, so my father and mother are coming over. Pops and I probably have some pizza and hot wings and just sit back and watch some of the games. Yeah.
Very cool. What's your favorite wing sauce?
I'm a traditionalist. I have to just say Buffalo, for me.
The old Buffalo. Blue cheese or ranch?
Yeah. Blue cheese guy.
Yeah, me too. I love hot wings with blue cheese. And then Buffalo Wild Wings has a Thai curry sauce that I'm addicted to.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
Avoid those. I just like to stick to the traditional stuff.
Yeah, but they're
and the local. Actually, for pizza, we don't have much of a choice around here. So I'm more of a Chicago pizza guy. I'm not a New York pizza guy. I'm a
You're a deep dish.
Chicago kind of guy. Yeah, I'm a deep dish kind of guy. But there's like a local Papa John's here, and it's just tradition when football Sundays is Papa John Sunday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like me some wings.
Are you a breadsticks kind of guy?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm more of a wing. I like wings because aside from the sauce, there's not a lot of carbs involved.
Right.
It's like a free meal.
Yep.
It's definitely like a free meal. But yeah, that's good stuff. So what do you the election is going.
I just want a winner and just get it over with. Let's move on. Come on.
Yeah. I have to see one or more of these commercials. Then there's this woman running around here who every time she talks, I'm like, is she on the spectrum? Like every time they show a commercial, she's like, oh, I'll protect our rights for your female birthright. But it's just the way she talks. It's like, what is wrong with that lady?
Yeah.
And we're the state that gave you Fetterman,
You know what? I really like him a lot. He's great.
Mayor of Braddock.
He's great. John Fetterman's like a cult status,
Yeah, but remember he had that stroke before the election.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's coming out and he's like, "Hey, who told you that I was liberal? Who told you?" And I heard he has like you live in Pennsylvania, the politics. I heard he has like a beef with Shapiro, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not afraid to have a beef with anybody. I kind of like him. But when he had the stroke, I was like, oh shit, like for the longest time they would interview him and it was like, I'm like, is that just because is that affected his brain?
My wife, I have to admit, my wife and I just talk about him all the time, and we're like, God, I wish we had a senator like that, Just like I said, I'm pretty, middle of the road to conservative, but I would love to like just sit and have a beer with him and just like, I just think, he just shoots right from the hip. He doesn't bullshit around, And one of my favorite clips is there was like a video of him sitting on a bench with his hoodie, and all these people are coming up to him and they're like yelling at him about like the Palestine, what's going on there. And he's like, I'm still pro-Israel.
Yeah.
I'm still pro-Israel. And he doesn't change his facial expression, nothing. And he's just sitting there. It's just the way he like says it. It's like, I don't really give a damn what you're doing, yelling at me, screaming at me.
It
was pretty funny.
Speaking of Israel and Palestine, and did you see the ads that Kamala is running in Michigan versus what she's running in Pennsylvania?
Oh, I'm sure there's probably some and two different versions.
Michigan, Minnesota, they have big Muslim populations. She's running ads. She's running, pro-Gaza ads there.
Then
in Pennsylvania, there's a big Jewish community, and she's running pro-Israel ads. Like they're exact opposite.
This is what I think.
Who she's talking to.
Look, Mark, in all honesty, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been going on for centuries. Okay, it dates way back.
Yes.
And the reality of the situation is the bottom line is there's just too many deaths, right?
Right.
Just too many deaths. And you need to have a plan in place, and no plan can be in place until you get Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan involved in this.
Yeah.
There will not be anything of consequence that will happen there until those countries sit at the table. And
we were just talking about Jimmy Carter last week, and he got Egypt to the table.
Yep.
And that guy got assassinated.
Yep.
That Anwar Sadat.
Anwar Sadat. It was
Yeah.
the Sinai or whatever they call it, the peace
Yeah.
accords there, And to
Yeah.
understand Middle Eastern thought and philosophy, you have to understand the history there. And there's a huge history. And it cannot be solved with like two people, the
Right.
Israel and Palestine. It encompasses multiple countries, you know, multiple countries. And that's the issue there. So, and then in Ukraine, you know what I feel about that. It's basically too many people have died. I just want, like Trump said, I just want the damn war to end. You
Right.
know,
Well, now you got
enough
North Korea sending 10,000.
troops. Yeah, this is this is very close. Getting and Putin has used the term nuclear war multiple times.
Yeah. You're
It's
headed towards World War III.
yep, yep. And I don't think we have politicians that take this stuff seriously. And
No.
then you have China and Taiwan.
Well, we don't take it seriously because they are paid by the military industrial complex.
Exactly, exactly.
They're
You
paid
know,
to promote this shit.
and people are talking about like the civil servants. Get the fuck out of here, civil
Yeah.
servants. Get out of here. The civil servants got us into all this wars and all this other crap. Give me a break. Some unelected fool is sending our kids and grandkids into the Middle East and everywhere else throughout the world. Get me the fuck out of here.
Mhm.
Sick of it. I just want the war to end. I don't care who ends it. Go back to tell Ukraine. You know what? We're going to go back to 2020, the way it was, and you're not going to join NATO and Russia. Leave, pay some money back to Ukraine to rebuild and be done with it.
Yeah.
And that saves space for Russia. And move on. This is ridiculous. It'll never end. It just never ends.
Oh, it's never gonna end. No, it'll never end.
I have a son in college. I don't want him to go fight in Ukraine.
Nope.
Who wants their children to go fight and die in Ukraine?
Speaking of Ukraine, I was laughing my ass off at Curly the other night, making fun of
What?
I guess
I haven't been watching.
Ireland and whoever it was that was supposed to show him around Ireland didn't show up, and he ended up flying to London and hooking up. Yeah, I don't know. They're cracking
All
me up.
bizarre stuff. Really.
All bizarre stuff, indeed.
I don't get it, but well, if somebody's paying for it, why not, right?
Yep. If somebody else is paying for it, hey, what the hell?
Hey, I'll go.
Exactly.
These YouTubers sure do lead a great life,
Well, maybe I should quit my job and do full-time YouTube. No.
Yep.
No. No.
Yep. It's a great life if you can get it,
Yep.
Great life.
It's good stuff.
But anyways, it should be interesting on Tuesday. There's like all these markets that you can bet on, and it's kind of curious because that's where the real money is, and and it should be kind of cool to watch. Like I said,
it looks like a dead heat, so it's going to be interesting
Yeah.
to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it'll either be like a blowout one way or the other if it's a dead heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it's always funny how you turn on the mainstream media stuff and they're always like, I read an article the other day, 98% of all the news that's reported is negative of Trump.
Oh yeah.
98%. I'm like, okay. And then it's like all the articles, and all the articles that you see, it's all so negative and all this crap, and I just laugh.
Washington Wood has a question for you, George. He says, where do you think gold is going for the next week and thereafter the next month?
I'll answer it with Bitcoin, actually.
Okay.
And I'll do the same thing with gold, but I think both are going to go much, much, much higher.
Okay.
Much higher.
Does it matter who wins the election?
I think, let me be honest with you. I think if Trump wins, I think economic policy wise and spending wise and everything else, from what I understand on his policies, it's much more inflationary, in my opinion. But uh, as such, all assets will rise. I think Kamala's situation is more geopolitical problems and risks. So
Okay.
that will rise based on geopolitical risk. So you have one situation in which economics will drive the fundamentals of
Mm.
Bitcoin and gold, and the other one is basically foreign policy. So either
Okay.
way, heads I win, tails you lose.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. And I think gold is telling you that, and I think Bitcoin's telling you that.
Okay.
I had friends who told me they were predicting um, like 100,000 BTC by January or end of December, January. So
Oh, wow.
anything is possible. And I was, and you know me, I'm a huge believer in it and been in it for many years. So it's kind of like one of those things where I don't really care where it's going, but I know it's going much higher. So,
That's going higher. All right.
and it should be kind of scary.
Scary how?
And do I have the same thoughts for silver, or is that too volatile? Well, um, so basically, in my own personal uh, collections and investments, I own platinum, gold, and palladium, and silver.
Okay.
So I think dollar for dollar, I think platinum is the best buy right now in the markets. I think there's a shortage of platinum coming, and there has been. So I
Okay.
think platinum usually trades at a premium to gold, and now it's trading at a huge discount to gold. So I think platinum's a pretty good buy. Palladium, I think with the Russia is the number one producer of palladium, and I don't see going forward a lot of palladium coming out of Russia. So I do think it is a pretty decent buy, but the premiums on palladium is very high,
Wow.
very high.
Okay.
And silver, obviously, I think there's a shortage. I think there's a large buyers in India buying silver. And if you do the inversion of gold to silver ratio, it's pretty high. And when it's above 80 or 60, if you do 27.50 divided by $33, it's what, almost like 90 to 1.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good
And you
time to buy silver. And usually it trades at about 35 to 1.
know,
For every 1 ounce of gold, you should be able to buy 35 ounces of silver. So yeah.
he says that he's in the UK and VAT is 20% on metals other than gold is the killer for him.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, watches on wood, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you buy British sovereigns, I believe you're not taxed on that. Correct? I'm not sure. If you can answer that, that'd be great. Because I think in the US, if you buy gold buffaloes and eagles, I believe when you sell them, there is no taxes on those incurred
Oh,
sales. So the premium on those are probably higher versus like Krugerrands or Maple Leafs, just because of the tax factor.
let's see. Coins
Yeah,
with
see, yeah, that's what I
one.
thought. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So I would just buy, like, and the funny thing about, I wanted to ask watches on what another question is there are a lot of platinum coins from the British government. Britannia's, I believe. Uh, don't think I'm sure there's platinum Britannias, so I'm not sure. I got to look, but uh,
Okay.
yeah, interesting. So that's just my opinion. I think all the stuff that I read about the economics of both of these candidates, I do think, I'm being straight up, Mark. I think Trump's is much more inflationary.
Okay.
But I think he's trying to counteract that by saying if you reduce oil prices, the cost of inflation will go down, right?
Right.
And or the
Right.
price of inflation goes down, and as such, the pressures on the economy will be alleviated. And there is some truth to that.
Okay.
So that's much more logical than spending all the money on green energy, et cetera, et cetera.
Watch, it says the platinum market is very
Yeah,
soft. I only have one, a platinum Queen's Beast in the year of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee.
yeah. So that's what I think makes platinum a pretty decent buy.
Okay. Because
I think
you see it moving up because it's
I
at
do see it. I do see it. It's been basing for God 10, 12 years at this price. So
okay.
if you see a chart of platinum, you'll just see it's like a flat line. It was up at like $2,000 at one time, and then it came down, and it's just flatlining. So, and that corresponds to basically, cars and the emission systems and all that stuff as well. So interesting. So we'll see.
We shall see.
But I
Yeah.
think if you look at foreign policy, I think yeah, this ain't your mother's Democratic Party anymore. This is not.
No, definitely not. Definitely different.
Yeah,
Um, it's funny how different it is.
it is.
You know,
I
strictly.
never I never thought in my wildest dreams would I ever see a Cheney endorsing a Democrat
Yeah.
for president, and never in the wildest dream would I ever think of somebody in the Democratic Party embrace a Cheney.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going on here.
It's a different world.
I I really don't know. As a former lifelong Democrat, it just irks the hell out of me.
It is. It is.
Yeah. What do you do?
What are you gonna do? It's not like
Yep. You vote and make your voice heard. That's it.
regardless of what your opinion is or your
Yeah.
party or who you like or don't like, your civil duty is to vote. Everyone should
Yeah.
vote. What did they say? Like 64% of eligible voters voted last election.
Yep.
I mean, that's crazy. With all
Yep.
of with the mail-ins, the early votes, the regular votes,
Yep.
there's no excuse for not voting.
I have some good friends of mine who are very liberal, and we're great friends. We don't, when we're when we talk, one of my best friends, my closest friend, he's very liberal, and that's
Mhm.
fine. And we talk about, all this stuff, and we agree more on than we disagree.
Yeah.
That's the reality. It's just
Well, yeah.
the politicians make it so that we can't agree on anything.
Well, it's not. It's really it's the fringes of both sides that
Yeah, that's
influence
right. That's
candidates.
absolutely correct.
It
And
that's where it's become so chaotic and crazy. Is it? We used to basically govern from the center
yep,
because that's where most of the people are. Now we're so afraid of disenfranchising the very fringe of each side that we don't do. We placate them so badly, and really, they're such a small minority that it's just insane.
it is. And it's like I said, I've voted twice for Clinton, voted for Gore, you know, supporter of Dukakis back in the day,
Mhm.
and that Democratic Party is not this one, not this one.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm just sick of and I left the Republican Party back in 2000 after the Iraq War, and I said this is not what I signed up for.
Right.
Nation building. I'm sick of people dying on both sides. I'm sick of all the deaths that were happening in the Middle East and the instability and all the American nation building and all that. So for me, I vote against all that every time. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. The first one that I look at is, are you interventionist or are you non-interventionist?
Yeah.
Leave it alone. You know,
Billy says the parties are different. They used to be Republicans for the rich, Democrats were for the poor. Now it's switched. More Republicans for the poor people in the Democratic, but the
Mhm.
rich movie
Yep.
actors, yeah,
And I wouldn't, and Billy, I wouldn't even agree with that. I would just say, and some of the stuff that Trump does and says is cringeworthy and it's god awful,
hmm
pathetic. But I think it's more of a Trump thing than
yeah,
it is a Republican thing,
yeah. No, I agree.
to be honest with you. Because I cannot see Mitch McConnell being a man of the average working person. I'm
No,
sorry, I don't see him,
no,
and I don't see Chuck Schumer as a party of the working person. I just don't see it.
no. I don't think anybody's really for the working person right now.
No, nope.
Buckley says the average male wrist is 6.5 inches and hairless. We should have seen this coming.
Yep, yep.
I don't even think that's the average male wrist. I think that's the average male wrist in the watch
Th-
community.
Exactly. Yeah. But it should, like I said, you vote whatever way you want, and let's see what happens because this country's got some serious problems, and it's going to need some serious discussions.
Yes.
And like I told you before, my policy has always been you have to, until you tackle Social Security and Medicare, you're not going to get the debt under control. And I told my parents, I tell everyone, you have to have a means test.
Yeah. Yeah.
Means testing. You have to means test everyone. You have to, and it's going to be painful, but you got to be honest. And guess what happens? Those politicians never get elected.
They never get elected. No. That's an
They
unpopular
never get elected.
stance.
Yep. If you tell grandpa and
You know
grandma
that.
that your social security payments are going to go down
Mhm.
and we're going to check and see how much you have in your 401k 5 years, 10 years before you retire, 5 years before you retire, and then at the time of retirement, and then make a decision on what your social security payments will be and what your Medicare coverage will be. And by the way, we're increasing retirement age from whatever it is, 67 or 65 or whatever it is, 70 to 72 to 73. And we're going to revisit that every 2 years.
Mhm.
Guess what happens? You're never going to get elected.
Yep.
But that's what it takes, right?
Right. Well, nobody wants to make
Because
hard decisions. Yeah, nobody
you
wants
can, you
hard.
can, yeah, you can cut all the spending on social programs. You could do, military. You could close all the bases in the foreign countries. You can do all that, but that doesn't touch the debt.
No. Well, the problem is the core of the problem is two-party politics. So if
Mhm.
you're a third party, all you're doing is detracting from the two parties. You'll never have any true power. So
No.
the third power, you can as a third party, even if you got elected as a third party candidate even if you became president, you don't have enough votes in the House and the Senate to get anything done. If you're a senator or a congressman and you get elected, you don't have enough allies to get anything done. All you've done is weaken
Let
one
me
of the
tell you, the last person that mentioned any of this was Ron Paul.
okay.
He talked about this a while back, and he said when he ran for president, he basically said you have to do all these things, and you
Yeah,
have to go back, and you know what else you do? You go back. I hate to say it, but you have to go back on the gold standard again. That creates fiscal discipline.
right.
You can't spend more than what you have,
Exactly.
and that creates fiscal discipline. And
hmm
then you get your country. The weakness this country has is its debt.
hmm
And that's a bad thing to have. That's not a military thing. It's nothing. It's the most powerful weapon that we don't have is we don't have the economic threats. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in debt so much, right?
Yeah. Billy says
Yeah,
Donald Trump talks like that because that's the way you talk in New York City. I know a lot of people from New York City. They're all like that. And then
sure, but you're running for president of the United States.
Buckley says Trump is a landlord developer from Queens.
Mhm.
He forgot to leave that at the door. Everyone should stop getting so butthurt about his words. Grow a pair, you fucking snowflakes.
True.
Uh, Billy says, I believe we have too much government. We need to cut some of the government. Too many people working for the government. That doesn't do anything. There's always going to be that. I don't care what you do because if you start doing what George is talking about and doing the means test and all that, you're going to have to hire all new people to do that stuff. Like
Yep.
that's always going to perpetuate itself. The
Yep.
biggest the biggest problem is that the money that we have and should be putting into our country, our infrastructure, our
Yep.
people, our programs, we send most of that money overseas.
Let me preface this by saying this. I believe currently, from what I read, we have a $36 trillion deficit. I'm not exactly sure if that, I don't believe that includes all the entitlement. I think if you include the entitlements and everything, from what I understand, it's about 70 trillion.
Oh.
Okay. Just wrap yourself around that head. Okay. And then think about this little fact: the war in Iraq, how much do you think we've spent?
Oh,
$7 trillion
yeah.
unfunded. Wrap yourself around that one.
Well,
And what do we have to show for it?
In the mid to late 90s when we were like almost debt free.
Yep. Under the Clinton administration,
Yeah.
they had retired the 30-year bond.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is what happens: Republicans spend a lot of money. They spend a lot, and the best. I'm going back to the days of Bill Clinton. The best government is a Democratic president and a Republican Congress.
Yeah.
That's the best, because you have to negotiate.
Watchtower Wood says no country will go onto the gold standard once they have transitioned off it, as economic impact would last for years, certainly more than presidential terms. Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
these are hard things.
Yeah. Well, you look at like the BRICS. Have you heard about the BRICS? Brazil, Russia,
Oh yeah,
India, China, South Africa. They want to have a currency that bypasses the US dollar in trade, right?
yeah.
Which I understand, because they have certain political issues and things like that with the United States. And their currencies, they're trying to make it backed by gold,
Hmm.
which I don't know how exactly it'll work. I don't think personally, economically, it'll work, but they're trying to get back to some fundamental basics, right?
Right.
And then you look at the euro, and for those of your uh, our friends in Europe, that when the euro was launched, it was supposed to be a currency that was supposed to be stable at all times. And if you look at when it launched to where it is now, it's depreciated by over 20%.
Yeah.
You know, so it's what it is. Inflation is the silent killer. And if you go back from 2020 to where it is now, inflation in food and everything else is an average up about 20%
Hmm.
minimum. So
Oh, it's crazy.
it's absolutely crazy.
I'm shocked when I leave the grocery store. Just
Yep.
shocked at what I just spent on, because I basically cook for myself,
Yep.
make things for myself, and I'm just like, my God, I don't know how I always wonder, like, I don't know how, like, people with a bunch of kids and a big family, I don't know how you do it these days.
And the sad thing about all this is like, we have one candidate, when asked about her economic position, she can't state it. I don't
Yeah,
know. I've never heard of a candidate for the president of the United States that says that, oh, the way to control prices is by price controls. I've never
mm,
heard of this. You know, spoken like a socialist would speak.
yeah. Oh, she's always you hear a lot of these quotes where she says, "Day one, we're going to do this. Day one, we're going to
Uh,
tackle this." Well, you've had 4 years to do all this.
right. And the worst thing is there's nothing she would change from the Biden administration. So if
Right.
there's nothing she would change, then guess what? Inflation is going to run another 20%. So brace yourself. That's why Bitcoin is where it's at. That's
Mhm.
why gold is where it's at. And that's why there is fear in the economy. And if you look at the job report on Friday, you notice there's only like 12,000 people hired, right?
Right.
And then they had downward adjustment of over 100,000. So the country's not heading. And what was it that I read the other day? I think 70% of Americans believe we're heading in the wrong direction.
Wrong direction. I saw a report that said only 20% think we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know who those 20% are that are going in the right direction. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But and how is it? I can't wrap myself around because those are like death mails to incumbents. And yet supposedly they want us to believe everything is
That's
deadlocked 50-50. So I don't know.
And Billy says he's shocked about the price in restaurants. A steak
Sure.
for $100 now for 4 people to go out, $500, and that's just a normal good steakhouse. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Watch Wood says I have friends who have half the salary I get and twice as many kids as me, and I don't know how they manage to live. No, wait, I do. They ain't buying luxury watches.
That is true. That is true.
True too.
And
Yeah.
like we always talk about sentiment, right? Consumer sentiment, right?
Yeah.
Consumer sentiment drives business in the United States. If people are feeling good, then it's what it is, right? They buy stuff. So yeah, what do you do?
What do you think of what does all this do to the watch market?
Well, like I said, it's all consumer sentiment, right?
Yeah.
If
Because it seems
if you're feeling good about the economy, then and you feel like everything is good, then what does it do? It drives up prices, right?
yeah.
If you think there's trouble brewing and problems and this and that, you're probably going to keep your money closer to home, right?
Mhm.
And you might probably start selling your watches a little bit more, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I, I
we were looking at Nashville,
mhm.
and his prices are always good, but they're down. They're
Of
definitely
course they're down. What would be the impetus for somebody for the what is the impetus for people to buy watches now?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had a group of people back in 2021 that thought watches were investments, right?
Mhm.
And they saw prices going up, up, up. They bought into that, and now they're left holding the bag. A lot of it. So
Ugh. Johnny O says just wait until you pay tax on your unrealized gains on your watch collection.
true.
Yeah.
I just wonder how many people are doing that.
Yeah. Billy says, I think the watch market is in big trouble. The biggest market for watches is China. And in China, they have so many watches for sale. It's hard to believe everybody is dumping in China.
Well, China has its own economic problems. Their issue is real estate in China.
Mhm.
Okay, the government in China has started a stimulus plan. However, it's not directly going into individuals' hands. It's going into the markets. It's going into big tech and the big companies. That's the problem that's happening in China. Because in China, the difference was is people bought homes or as we say, flats and condos and things like that as investment. And guess
Okay.
what happened? That went belly up.
Right.
That's the issue in China. So they used to go to Hong Kong all the time, buy their watches, bring it back. Then there's anti-corruption stuff that President Xi passed, which was a good thing. So they're not buying a lot of watches and stuff like that. So that's what happens there. But he's absolutely right. China actually dictates the watch market.
Mm. Craziness.
Yep.
But what do you
In
do?
general, like I said, everything is influenced by interest rates and consumer sentiment, right?
Mhm.
Interest rates are high, You're not going to necessarily buy cars, homes, high ticket items, right?
Right.
And if the sentiment is bad, I mean, definitely not. So you hope, whoever wins surrounds themselves with good economic advisors, figures things out, and succeeds, whether it's a President Harris's term or a President Trump's term. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you want them to be successful for all of us.
Right.
That's my 2 cents.
That's our 2 cents. All right, that's our politics talk.
Yep.
We got that out of the way. Well, it's important. The election's Tuesday, so it's
Yeah.
important. And,
Go out and vote.
but what's
Whatever your
more
whatever
important
your
is that whatever happens, we are looking at what's best for the country
exactly.
going forward. And that's really where we've had our stumbling blocks the last few elections is we get through the election and then
It stops. Nothing
it's
gets done.
nothing gets done and we all like go to our side and that's it. And that's no way to live.
Yeah, you have to have compromise. You know what I'm saying? You have to have compromise. And like I've always said this when Obama became president, there should have been some type of compromise. Even in Bush's terms, there was compromise. In Clinton's terms, there was compromise, right? In Reagan's terms, there was compromise between him and Tip O'Neill. So
Yeah.
it's just such a blood sport. It's like personal and nothing gets done.
Whoa, Watches on Wood got a new watch. Might be a surprise. I bought a San Martin Spirit Zulu without the 5 stars on the dial. He does hate the 5 stars. I love the Zulu.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of the Zulu time. I want mine back for my brother. But let's look up this San Martin Zulu. I didn't. San Martin Zulu time. Let's see what we got here.
I've never heard of this.
Well, San Martin makes like knockoff watches, basically.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Boom. It does look like a Zulu time without the 5 stars.
That watch looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the Zulu time. Have you ever seen the Zulu time?
I haven't.
You've never seen? Oh, hold on. Let me pull up. Let me find a picture of my old Zulu time watch here. Boom. We'll go into this. We'll compare the two. Jeez, Pete. Too much stuff.
Looks a lot like a Tudor, does it not?
Yeah, it looks like, well, it actually looks a lot like this watch. That's my Zulu. My brother has this. This is my watch, but he borrowed it and he likes it. So I let him use it. Now, he hates the 5 stars.
What does that mean, the 5 stars?
It's an old Longines thing to signify some better models.
Oh, okay.
But the watch itself was gorgeous. I mean, it's a gorgeous watch. It's a big watch. It's a big 42 with male end links coming off the bracelet. So I guess they make a 39 in it now.
Mm-hmm.
But this watch
looks nice.
Yeah, it's just a crazy good one.
Real nice. And how much are we looking at for one of these?
$3,000 for the $3,000 for the Longines. I think the San Martin you can get for under 300.
Oh, then it's a great value.
Yeah. Let's see that there. Hold on. Where's that San Martin picture? Boom. It says, but wearing it, I felt there was something missing. The 5 stars. So now I bought the genuine article. Oh, nice. Did you which color did you get? Watch on Wood. I'm actually considering the blue as a replacement for the green since I've had the green before.
Can you pull that up, Mark? Is that what it is right there that you're showing?
That's the green one. That's the Longines Spirit Zulu. I'm gonna pull up a blue one. kind of like the blue. Is there a good picture? Here's a decent picture of it. Let's pull that up. See, they make it in different colors, and they make that two-tone one, but that two-tone is like a plated. Here's the blue. So the blue has the orange GMT hand and the orange Zulu time. I don't really need another black watch. I like the black, but this is the original Zulu time. This is the original two-tone or two time zone watch. Where they got the name from. But let's have a picture of the black one on here. It's the two-tone one. So the black has a blue hand and the blue Zulu time. The green with the gilt is really pretty. I'm just afraid I'll get my other one back. Then I'd have two of them. You got the green.
Look nice.
Yeah, the green with the gilt, really nice. Watch that one. It's a great watch. Did you get the 42 or the 39? He said the San Martin homage he got in blue is very nice. Yeah. Did you get the 42 or the 39? I can pull off the 42, but it's a big 42 because this end link is a male end link, so it really adds to the length of the watch. So it becomes a much bigger looking watch on your wrist with that non-articulating end link. Cool. You got the 42. You can hit your size. It's a great watch. I really like it. The crown action is amazing. Yeah, same as me. 7.5. Nice. Perfect. And it's a big not really an onion crown. It's almost like the part of the hourglass, like for their logo, but it's a big crown. The GMT bezel has really nice action, really good knurling. It's really a nice watch. It really is. When this came out, it was at 22. It was hot. I got mine from Teddy Baldessar of all people. He was because I couldn't find it, and they sent me an email. It was back in stock. Bought it immediately.
I just wonder how his business is really doing.
Yeah, I'm curious.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just kind of curious about the foot traffic and people buying.
Yeah. Now that he went to a brick and mortar.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wonder about that as well. But this is when you look at this watch, when you see this watch in person, the dial, the details on the dial, and I know this is all, programmed. This isn't made by hand. This is all machine made.
Sure.
But when you look at the details on this dial, it's pretty nice for a $3,000 watch.
That looks nice. The blue dial.
I like the blue. The blue is a sunburst, and yeah, I keep going back to look at this thing, and I'm like,
But you know what though? I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, okay, this is like what $3,000, right?
Yeah.
Right. I still like that Tudor that we saw on Chase's website.
Let me go back here.
With the Black Bay,
Oh yeah, for 3,800 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So now this Longines, like you could get this at like a Joma shop or a Watch Max for about $2,500.
Okay. Yeah, 2,500. But
yeah,
if you ever want to get out of it, you're not going to get anything.
No, you're not getting out of it. Yeah.
So
yeah,
comparing apples to apples,
right.
Yeah, it's nice watch, but I think like
this
value wise,
50 is really nice.
Oh.
That watch I think is like 42. Oh, whoa. Look at this. He got his second hand for 1,200 pounds. Good job. Good job. You're gonna love that watch. I promise you. It really bangs above its price class. when you look at it. It's really a really nice watch. Longines does a nice job. Right? For that price, it's a no brainer. As I could probably sell it for 1,000 worst case scenario. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's one of my favorites. For like kind of non super high end kind of stuff. They really. Hold on. Here's a better picture. Let me show you this. See the depth on that dial? It's just a really nice piece. The applied Arabics. I know you don't like, the 5 stars are applied, the Longines logo is applied. It's got cutouts and it's just really nice. It's just a really nice piece. I gotta say, George, you're muted. Did you know? But yeah, oh, you're good. The depth on that dial is pretty killer. It's just a nice piece. I've always liked it. Here it is. This is at my favorite Vietnamese pho restaurant. But it's just really hits above its weight class as far as looks. They've just done a nice job with it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna look at it. Love it. Let's see. I'll look at the new Tag Heuer Aqua Diver before this. You can buy it on the secondary for about 3,000, model 2000. I don't like the new Tag the Aquaterra GMTs. I don't like the date at 6 o'clock with that goofy brown. It's even a worse looking Cyclops. I own the previous iteration of that. That was a nice watch. But this watch, the dial on this watch is what makes it. The dial and the bezel. It's a beautiful bezel. It's a thin ceramic bezel, so it doesn't. You still have a lot of real estate for the dial. Tag Heuer. Oh, what is Tag Heuer? Have you ever heard of Tag Heuer?
I never heard of that.
I'll look that up. I don't think I know what that is.
Maybe misspelled. Tech Heuer. Oh no, it's gotta be. I think it's Tech, Tech. Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. He must mean tag. It must mean
maybe.
tag. Yeah, because nothing comes up. But the new tags, the Aqua Racer GMT is a nice watch, but it is. Let's see, Aqua Racer tag. I hate what they did with the date. Try to pull one up. No, these aren't the GMTs, but saying they did the same thing with the date. Hold on, I'll pull one up here for you to see. They put a wave pattern dial on it, which I'm not crazy about. That one has diamonds, but yeah. Before I would spend $3,800 on this, I would buy a used Seamaster. Because you get a used Seamaster for that money, and it's an SMP 300M, and it's a much nicer watch. I had, let me see if I find a picture of it. Hold on. I had the old one. There you go. I had this one. That had more of a traditional Cyclops and a teak deck pattern. It's a very solid watch, a very nice watch. But for the money, if I had to do it over again, I would have bought a used Seamaster instead. It was, but it's not a bad watch. It's not,
right.
It's solid. I mean, it's heavy and it's a solid watch. It had a great bracelet. It was really close to being an oyster bracelet on it. It was the bracelet was nice. The watch itself was solid, but you know, what do you do? Sold that to a salesman of mine. Bought that off me. He loved that
Mm.
one. He was a big fan of that piece. Like I said, before I would
Interesting.
do that again, I would buy something else before I would spend it.
Yeah, nice. I mean, these are all reasonably portable. They look like they're nice
Yeah,
looking watches. Very simple daily wears.
it's
You know.
quality timepieces. There's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't go wrong with them.
No.
For the money, it's great.
Oh yeah. Hard to beat.
Nope.
Well, George,
Well, I think we've covered all aspects of the watches and politics and the intersection between the two and cars and everything else. So
yes, I think politics. We're down to 7 viewers between politics and tag heuers
yes,
on jeans.
exactly. Yeah. those are our 7 loyalists that have probably fallen
Yes,
asleep.
yes.
But yeah, it's all good stuff. I like I said, I'm always looking for something nice to buy, but
Yeah.
right now, it's like there's nothing on the market that's like, oh, gee, I really, 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 really want to get one of these. Even the Cubitus, I think is, you know, it's like okay, we'll see,
Mhm.
but nothing. None of the major watch brands have come out with like an oh my gosh, this is a watch I really would like to get in
Yeah.
line for to get.
Yeah. It's hard. It's like I said, I look at that blue Zulu time. I like that watch a lot. I kind of miss this tag. It was a nice watch for what it was.
Right?
Um, but I don't know. I want. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I said, I want to. I really would like to have kind of a 2 watch collection, and whether that's a
Mm.
Rolex diver of some sort and
Hmm.
an Aquaterra, or if it's a Rolex Explorer One and a Seamaster, or I'm not, something in the Seamaster line. I'm not sure. I'd like to, I'll probably keep this as a dress watch,
Hmm.
CK59, and then so basically it would be a 3 watch collection. Well, I rarely wear this. It's just leather strap, small. It's really a dress watch, and often I
Right.
really dress up. I normally do the sport watch thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think these days, I think wouldn't you agree that a lot of sport watches really are dress watches, right?
Yeah, a lot of them really dress up.
Yeah. Yeah. And most dress watches stay dress watches, right?
Right.
It's
It's
like,
like everything. Everything's changed.
yeah.
It's like people with clothing, the way
Right.
they dress when they go to work. Now they dress more business casual
Right.
than dress up.
Right.
Same
Absolutely.
same kind of deal.
Yeah. I just think, like I said, it's just one of those things where you see dress watches these days, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's people just aren't wearing, suit and ties anymore to
right.
work, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, what do you got plans for the rest of the day other than football?
Football. I'm gonna watch some football. I got mom here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask how
Yeah,
she was doing.
yeah, she's doing all right.
Mhm,
Yeah, but she's here on my couch.
mhm,
Um, oh yeah. So a lot of people were wondering about this. I believe Aaron Boone. Yeah, he was wearing the Oris, that super deep sea, that real big chunky watch. That's what he was wearing
mm.
in the dugout the other day.
Interesting.
Wearing the Oris. What are you gonna do?
Yep,
Uh,
and he managed one hell of a game on game 5, you know,
I don't know that you really put
one of
that
the
on
worst.
there.
Well, the funny thing was that 5th inning,
Hmm.
that you felt bad for Cole because he's been out there for like almost like 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah,
And and no pitching coach came out there, no, manager came out there and just said, "Hey, calm down." Just kind of like
yeah,
take the, to calm it down a little bit, and to settle it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then you saw like what happened in, I think it was the seventh inning with Trinan, and Dave Roberts came out right after he was
right.
struggling, and he had to face Stanton and the guy behind him, Chisholm or somebody, or
Mhm.
whoever it was behind him, and it just saw like two different managers handling this almost the identical same situation, but two different ways.
Yeah, definitely 2 different ways. So
Yeah.
this is the horse he was wearing in the dugout the other day. I saw it, I was like, "That's a big chunky watch." It looks like that Oris Aquas Pro. That's
Mm.
the, 4,000 meter. It's a big, thick. I don't know if you get a real good view how thick that thing is. Very thick. It's a big
Yeah,
chunky
it
watch.
is. Jeez.
$6,600. Jeez, for an
Wow.
Oris. And I like Oris, but $6,600
Mhm.
for an Oris? Nah. Yeah, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Mhm. And who's going down 4,000 meters anyways with an Oris?
Correct.
Billy, 9.99 super chat. Thank you, Billy. He says tag. Oh, this is the new one. The face is really nice. You can pick it up for about 3,000. This is the new one. The face is really nice. Let me pull it up. Let's pull it up. Ooh. While we're doing other stuff here, that's the WP. Oh, WPBP 511 dot. That's a long. It's like a um um. Let's see. Nope, that did not come up. Hmm. Let's see this one. This is a little bit different number, but let's pull it up. Is that this one, Billy?
That looks pretty nice.
Yeah,
I like the dial on that. I really
yeah.
do.
So wave pattern dials new,
Mhm.
new this
Mhm.
year. Says retail price 3,000. Don't worry if you can't find it. It's no biggie. That is the watch. Oh. Don't watch case size a little bit smaller than the old model. I usually don't like tag, but I've seen this really face unbelievable. Yeah, I have to check it out. I haven't seen it in person. I've seen pictures of it. I know people say that the new dial is really nice and they like it. I'm not crazy. I hate that bubble date at the bottom. That's even worse than
Mm.
a Rolex
Then at
cycle.
then at 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
What if they moved it to the 9 o'clock position? You think that's weird?
I don't like
I
that as well. I
Yeah.
understand 3 o'clock. I understand where 3 o'clock came from. I
Right.
prefer 6 o'clock for symmetry, but 3 o'clock came from. So if you had a shirt on, all right, you wouldn't. If you needed to see the date, you didn't even have to pull the shirt all the way over the watch because your first little tug would, first look where you could see what the date is. I understand
Mm.
why that became a thing, but you have to check this watch out. My local AD has tag. I'm sure they have one in stock. I'd be excited. Someone's looking at the tag case.
Yeah, I don't have an AD that has a tag around here.
Yeah.
I've got an AD that has Oris.
Yeah, I've got orders. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And Citizen and Seikos. That's it. What do you do?
And Tag, I mean, they've made some nicer watches. They're making a little bit of a comeback, but they've also done some really expensive stuff too.
Oh yeah,
It's like, oof. He's saying you can pick this one up for about $3,000,
that's what he
3,800.
says. Yeah.
It is the chronometer now, which my old one was not chronometer certified. It was just a Sellita, which I'm sure they're still probably using a Sellita
Oh, I'm sure.
movement in it. Do they have Parma cost certified manufacturer cover? Huh. And it's not saying the Sellita movement anymore. 300 meters of water resistance, 42 millimeter case, got the scalloped bezel.
Mm.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep. It's actually it's a good looking watch.
Yeah. Billy says, I think he meant to say Tag is better than Longines. He says, I'm
Yeah.
only a Rolex person, but I'm telling you, the face on this blew my mind. This doll is gorgeous. I'll have to check it out. I have to check it out in person.
Yep. I'll have to.
Thanks. A lot of times,
Anyways,
you don't know.
yeah.
George, you leaving us?
I have to take a break from all this. I've got some paperwork to do, some stuff to order for the office, and
All right.
get ready for a busy week and hopefully a peaceful week.
Yes.
And yeah, what can you say? Looking for some good games today. That's for sure. At least we have the NFL. No matter what happens on Sundays, we have the NFL.
Exactly.
You know. I just like I said, I just want the shit to get over with. You know.
Yeah, just
Get it over with.
whatever way it goes, just let it end.
It's so funny because like over the on uh on Halloween we had like a windstorm and everything, so a lot of neighbors had like their political signs fly everywhere, and
Oh,
it's like all over the street and other stuff, and it's like if I see one, I'm just gonna grab it and throw it in the trash.
I'm just tired of signs. I'm tired of the commercials. I'm tired of the text
Yeah.
messages,
Oh my
email,
God, the text
phone
messages are
calls.
just yes,
It's just
the
gotten
phone calls and
to be
oh, and
crazy.
you know, I just wish what they could do is something like I think they do this in some countries where like a few days before the election, they just no more campaigning, no
Yeah.
more advertisements, no more discussions,
I think
nothing,
I just saw a thing. Trump's going to be in Pittsburgh on Monday.
Mm.
And I think Harris is going to be somewhere else in Pennsylvania on Monday. I mean, they're going to be stumping till the end.
That's
Uh,
all right,
you
whatever,
you wonder about the polling. I mean, they're saying 50-50 split, and you just wonder because they've been so wrong on some of these elections. I don't know.
Well, I tried to read a little bit, on all this stuff, and they keep saying there's like now they're trying to spin the stuff that there's like under the cover Harris voters and stuff like that, and I'm like, I thought basically everybody that's a Harris voter is not undercover.
Yeah.
I don't really know anyone that's told me, shh, don't tell anyone I'm voting
Yeah.
for Harris, But I do know a lot of people that says,
The
shh,
other
I'm
way,
voting for Trump. Yeah, so I don't know, Mark. This is
Yeah.
all, this is all the media spinning stuff to demoralize a group of people, I think, from
Yeah.
going out and voting. It's actually uh, it's a it's a theory in psychology that if you go on any news channel and you listen and they're all about the same, they're reporting it the same way, that you can actually affect elections and public opinions and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we're over all that.
Hopefully we're getting beyond that. Hopefully once the election's over, whatever happens, the country will do better. But please, if
Yeah,
you are
just vote.
the United States of America and you are a citizen, exercise your civil duty and vote. I don't care who you vote
Yeah.
for. just scare the-
Absolutely.
I would love to see like 90% of voters show up. Let me know that people care about what's going on.
Well, I live in a state where everybody gets mail-in ballots, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't heard of any irregularities and illegals voting or anything like that. So,
Yeah. Well, we're burning ballot boxes here in Pennsylvania. So,
oh yeah, we did have an issue in a city near the other side of the state,
yeah.
but that's more of a domestic terror. I think it went to a domestic terror type thing. So who knows? Who knows?
Who
But
knows?
it used to be civil, and now it's not so civil. And
Yeah.
neighbors. I have two neighbors at the end of the street. One of them has a Trump wall sign and facing another neighbor, and directly next to him, his sign is Harris. But Harris, walls. Another one is Trump vans right next to each other, inches away. And you just wonder, like, okay, you guys are neighbors. You guys known each other for decades. Is this like personal, or is this just
Right.
whatever? Yeah. Well, let's see.
Yeah, right. Well, George, as always, we
Hey,
appreciate you coming on.
great to see you, Mark. Always good. And you never know. Hey, I might come down out to Philly, Pittsburgh area. We have some mutual friends in that area, so I've been meaning to make a trip to the left coast. To the right coast. So, always wanted to get out there, but it's like probably now is not the time between November and March.
Yeah, it's a little colder. It's not terrible, but it's a little colder. Like this week, it's going to be in the 70s.
Oh, it's going to be warmer there than my place.
But it does get a little chilly December, January, February.
Yeah.
And it calms down.
Maybe sometime in the spring. I want to come out there. I want to go to Bala Sinwood. I want to see
nice.
1916 for sure, and visit my AD over there. I want to see, like, they're doing I saw on Instagram, David Thune, before I leave, they're doing they had I think it was Singapore or Hong Kong, where they opened up a David Thune showroom.
Okay.
And it looked really cool. I don't have my cell phone handy, but I'm just kind of curious. I just want to go to 1916 and check out what they have in the vaults, with some of these. And I'm sure they have some Jorns that we probably never have seen that are in their vaults,
I will tell you, we had a blast taking it, because I bought a few watches from them. Nothing like what you've gotten, but I bought a few watches from them. And they, first of all, they were just amazing hosts and showed us all around. Yeah, took us to a little room, let us, asked what watches we would like to see, and it was just a really, really good time. They were great hosts.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. So that's one of the things to do, and I'm thinking possibly a trip sometime in January to Argentina somewhere.
Oh, you were saying that last week, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and then maybe somewhere in Europe in the springtime with the wife. So
Okay.
we'll check and see what my schedule looks like, because it's kind of hard to take time off of the work and fly to get from the West Coast to the East Coast is like an ordeal.
Yeah.
It's easier to go to Europe than it is to go from West Coast to East Coast. It's crazy.
I could see that.
Yeah. And it's almost about the same price, which is even more asinine if you ask me. But make a trip down there. Maybe see, Lucky Bastard and you and Mr. G and Double D and a few other guys down there, Kevin, So anyways, I'm going to head off. So wish you a great weekend and good luck on Tuesday. Hope
we'll see what happens
Hopefully
Tuesday.
there's no crazy stuff going on there.
Exactly.
And that's about it. So, hey, enjoy the games, Mark. Take care, okay?
All right, George.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
See you. There we go. There's George. Football picks. We won't have any politics next week because the election will be over. Everyone can rest easy. So we looked at some tags. We looked at some Longines, Horus. What is anything anybody wants to look at before we head on out of here? All 12 of you that are left following our politics talk, Longines talk, Horus talk, and tag horror talk. All things that people hate to talk about on a live stream. We hit them all. We hit all the bad stuff. We got 23 upvotes. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do. We do love that. But we got a big week of football. Good slate of games. I'll have the NFL Red Zone on for good portions of the day. As always, we started with breakfast. Let's head back over. So this was breakfast today. Oh no, that was not breakfast today. What is that? Whoops. Scroll up. There you go. We had eggs in a basket. Tasty as always. I also made this during the week. This was another sea log. This was using the pork belly. I made pork belly sea log. That was tremendous. We had some mushroom pepper cash, or as they say, gambas paprikas. Something I'm known to make. And we did a gochujang pork chop. And eggs and sausage with grilled sourdough. Delicious. Ripping the watches. And we made a chicken pot pie soup this week as well. Now, in the refrigerator currently is a marinating. So I got some meat marinating in the fridge. So check out the Instagram tonight. There'll be a dinner. There'll be some interesting dinners coming up. Great show. See you next week. Look forward. Thanks, Billy. Always good to see any of you guys. I appreciate everybody who comes over. And I know some of the political talking get a little taxing, but like I said, regardless of who you're voting for, vote. That's the most important thing. It's your right as an American to vote. Exercise it. It's the only thing you can do. People say that we're a democracy. We're really a democratic republic. We elect people to make policy for us. And if you want change or you want to send a signal, your only way to do that is to vote. It's really to vote in every election. I know presidential elections get all the hubbub, but most of your policy is made in the interim elections. So vote, 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 vote. Made Treble hungry. It's our job. Like I said, check out Instagram tonight. There'll be something. There's something happening in the fridge. So there could be a walk involved later. So that being said, I hope everybody has a great day. We'll watch a couple videos, get to 2:45 on the way out. A little breakfast montage. Or maybe we'll do something different. We did breakfast in Lucha this morning. How about if we do, this one says delicious, 33 seconds. Or Cafe Lucha 2. Let's do Cafe Lucha and Cafe Lucha.
Woke up this morning with a wine glass in my hand. Whose wine? What wine? Where the hell did I die? Must have been a dream. I don't believe where I've been. Come on, let's do it again. You feel like I have to feel. You
right, guys. You guys all have a good one. You too. Try. Yes, Maiden. Yes. It was it's the intro to Rothschild. What's that? I can't remember what it's called now. It's terrible. But off the Killers album. One of my favorites. Even though it's a non-Bruce Dickinson album. Watch on Wood. Thanks for coming by. You have a great week as well. Appreciate everybody stopping by and participating in the chat. If you haven't hit the upvote button on your way out, please do. And we will see you next week. And I promise we won't have to really have much political talk because the election will finally be over. We can actually just stick to watches, food, and football like we like to do. That is where we make our bones. So, guys, peace out. Remember to vote. I don't care who you vote for, just vote. Exercise your civil duty as a citizen and hit that vote. I will be there. I'm a traditionalist. I will be there Tuesday morning early before work. And then one of my favorite things to do is to watch the election returns come in. So Tuesday night, I will be, when I get home from the dealership, I'll be watching just to see what's going on. I'm always curious to see where the temperature of the country truly is. And that's really, you can't tell until you watch the returns coming in. So, and if you're in a foreign country, watch it. It's fun. It's interesting. It's just hard to find a non-biased. I lean right. I'm a fiscal conservative, but it's hard to find like a non-biased place to watch this stuff anymore, which sucks because everyone's got their agenda. So if anybody knows anywhere where I can find something where there isn't too much spin, let me know. Watch for Instagram tonight. There'll be dinner. And everyone be good. I'm going to go check on Mom, make sure she's doing okay. And I will see you guys next week.